Hello, everyone. We are back for another Uno Mas podcast. This is Whitney K. And it's been a minute since I've been back because StreamYard was having some serious API issues with YouTube's API that was not allowing us to, or anybody on StreamYard to stream publicly. So we are back again. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about the unfiltered truths, increasing your reach on social media, and my personal opinion, which may or may not matter to you, but I'm just going to share from my personal experience with my own accounts, with client accounts, and what I feel is the real deal with some of these social media platforms. Because don't get me wrong, I love them, but I also hate some of them right now. And after speaking to so many content creators and so many brands, feel like I'm not the only one. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. I'm going to be specifically covering Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube today. Also TikTok. That's important. And I'm just going to give you what I feel is going on with these platforms, where I think they're best used if you own a brand or a business and you're trying to scale your impact and your reach and your overall brand digitally. And then also where I feel like they're kind of struggling a little bit, because some of these algorithms, I feel like I might not have known exactly how they work, but anybody in digital marketing has a really good idea of how algorithms work because of the way that we're testing and putting out content on a regular basis. And there's some specific platforms, y'all, that like I have no freaking clue what is going on with their algorithm. Their algorithms have gone completely rogue. And I mean, even with every testing ability that I have to put out there to have a general idea of how something works and how to best perform on these platforms, I'm at a complete loss. Full disclosure, I don't know what the hell I am doing right now in some of these platforms, or at least that's what I feel like, because I feel like I'm running in circles. So let's just get into this. Okay. Facebook. Okay. Facebook is, I know, to some of y'all's opinions, the dinosaur of social media. I get it. I was one of the first people on that platform back in the day when they unlocked it to only universities and colleges and allowed only those people, students, to be on the platform. That was me. That was like MySpace days. It was a blast in the past, and I'm still vibing on that platform. So, the engagement metrics that Facebook uses primarily are likes, comments, and shares. So when you're creating content, you have to create content that you know is not only going to be liked by people, but is going to engage them to comment on your post, and also is valuable enough to share it off with somebody else that they also know. And they also pay attention to the relevancy of your post in the interest of its users. So, is what you're posting even relevant to your followers? That is going to be a huge determining factor of whether or not the platform chooses to push it out there. It's also going to consider your post type. Is it a video? Is it a post? Is it, an article that you're sharing, a third party link? Keep in mind too, all of these platforms do not favor. My nose is running. Please forgive me. Why does this always happen? Like every time I come on to do live or talking, like my face decides to like have a mind of its own and run all over me. This is so attractive. Okay, it's not, but go with it. So, anyways, the post type, if you're sharing an article or a third party link, you have to keep in mind that platforms don't want you to send users off of their platform. So, yes, you will see people that share links and blogs and whatnot, and they get tons of engagement, tons of shares, whatever. That's because the relevancy of the post is hitting really hard with their following. Now, Facebook, like all of platforms, would prefer that you keep people on platforms. So there's different ways that you can look at doing that by, giving more of an excerpt or a more lengthy post to the content that you're sourcing, instead of actually sourcing the content, getting people to message you in the DM. So you're taking them there to where you can share the article. There's a bunch of different strategies and methods that you can use to keep people on the platform, but also lead them to the content that you're wanting to lead them to, if that makes sense. Key features of Facebook are news feeds, groups, pages, and stories. So And Reels. I would say Reels is a good key feature too. I didn't have that written down, but Reels is definitely a good key feature. I personally favor Facebook for the group aspect. Now, as a community leader, a community grower, a community runner. Is that even what you want to call it? As a person that builds communities, basically, I have used a lot of platforms. I have built my own app. I have done it on my own website. I have used other community growing platforms specifically just for that. I have also used Facebook groups and I've done Discord, I've done like all of the things that you could possibly think of and I always come back to Facebook groups. Now, there's always going to be a hang up with whether or not your users are going to want to get into a Facebook group or even download the Facebook app or are even using Facebook. But you're going to run into that scenario regardless of what platform you use. Okay. When I was on Discord, there were people that like, I don't want to download Discord. I don't want another app. I don't even know how to use this. This is too confusing. When I was using Mighty Networks, this is, just another app that I have to download in another place that I have to go. When I was using my own personal app, it's another app that I have to download. My own website, it was too clunky. It was too complicated. It was just like, you're going to not please everybody. But I love Facebook groups because that's something they've had around for a while. It's something that I feel like they've really done well. And it's something that for me, if I'm already on the platform, it's easy for me to get on there, manage, run, share, grow, all of the things. And there's a lot of privacy features within Facebook groups. So I think that's their strongest like asset or key feature because I have more people in groups on Facebook than I actually have a following, which is so funny because if you look at my one page, which was verified on Facebook, actually had to get shut down. That's a whole story in itself. Another podcast, another day. But that had to get shut down. So I had to start from ground zero. Even my personal profile, I don't have nearly as many people following me as I do in groups because groups is just something that's just more close knit. It's where you can share a little bit more of your voice, your vulnerability, and you can just get real and raw and unlock certain capabilities or access to you that people might not get on your normal profile. So, enough about Facebook groups. I love that feature. Facebook's algorithm is still pretty easy to kind of work with. I'm not personally on that platform as much as many of my other clients are, but when I am working with other clients, we kind of use it more of a repurposing platform. So we're focusing on other social media platforms, but using Facebook to repurpose that content. But really, groups is the primary focus. If we're building communities for people, we're doing it on Facebook groups. Next is Instagram. I am really frustrated with this platform right now. Full honesty, I could sucker punch this platform in the face because I don't know what they're doing. They have gone rogue. I used to understand this algorithm. I might have not been a multi-million follower, big ass influencer, but I feel like I knew what I was doing and I could do what I wanted to do effectively and reach the people I needed to reach, convert the people I wanted to convert, connect with the people I wanted to connect with, and easily do that for my clients. But now I don't even know what they're doing over there. I don't know if their focus is on threads. And so they've dropped the ball with Instagram. Adam Mosseri came out just the other day and was like, the more you post, the more people are going to see your content. But at the same time, we don't want to force you to post too much because we want you to remain in a happy mindset in your happy place. But don't forget, if you post more people will see your content. But then I'm sitting here thinking, we've tested this out with clients, Adam. We have done this with my own personal content. Adam, I have posted more and I've seen my following drop. We have posted more for clients. We've seen following drop. Then we've lessened the times in the amount of posts that we put out there. And we've seen, increase in that. But here's the biggest problem. If you look at your analytics, you are going to see that non-followers are seeing your content, especially if you're posting video content like Reels, more so than your actual following. Now, you're probably sitting here thinking, Whitney, that's a great thing. I want my content to be seen not by people that currently follow me, but more by people that have yet to discover me. I get it. I get that. But at the same time, don't you want to sit back and ask yourself, if the people choose to follow you and subscribe to your content, don't you feel like the platform should be pushing it out to those people? Not less than 10% of your following seeing your actual content that you're posting on any given day, because that's what's happening. Look at your insights, look at your analytics. You will see your content is not being seen. And that is the most frustrating thing for any creator. You get to the point of being like, why am I even showing up here? What am I even doing here if the platform itself isn't even going to show my content? Like, I'm wondering, who are you showing my content to? Like, does it go into a deep dark hole of like nothingness where it doesn't even get out there to the world? Like, it's just like, okay, they're using it. We have people showing up and we're only going to favor the people that are, one, paying our platform, meaning AKA you are subscribed, or two, heavily advertising on the platform where you're spending 5, 10, 20, 30 plus $1,000 a month in ads. We're going to favor those people, which I get. Why would you favor the people that don't want to pay to be on the platform? I would more likely favor the people that are paying, but don't sit here and tell us who aren't paying that we're going to get more views and our content's going to get more reach if we just post more. BS. Shared that in a stitch in a current reel, and that's how I feel. That rhymed, by the way. Okay, so let's get down to like what Instagram states. So their engagement metrics really focus on likes, comments, shares. Shares is the heavy part. They really want to see your content being shared, the relevancy of interest to its users, the recency of post. So how recent have you made the post? Is it a post that was a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago? We have noticed also, and I know other people could possibly agree with this, that a lot of times reels where they would immediately pop off when you posted them, like last year, now you're seeing the growth kind of increase as the days go on. So if you just give it a minute, give it a couple days, you might see a spike in your growth, in your views, in your visibility on the reels that you're putting out there. Another thing is the use of hashtags. I did a post about this just recently. No, hashtags are not dead. I don't know why major influencers and creators are even putting that out there. Like, it's so confusing to their audience because, granted, you might not have to use a hashtag, but let's be real for a minute. You have a significant following to where it does not even matter whether or not you use hashtags because your people are going to see it anyway. So to tell smaller creators not to use hashtags because it's not benefiting your post completely goes against, again, even though I argued what Instagram said the first time, I'm going to argue with them in the fact that saying Instagram has said that hashtags, they just updated the hashtag feature, meaning that when you click on a hashtag, it's going to make sure to populate those results, as well as you have the ability to follow hashtags, which you've had for a little bit of time, but they've updated their hashtag algorithm, if you want to say. I mean, this was just announced, I believe, at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. Don't quote me. I just know that it was recently announced. Adam, again, came out and announced that. So hashtags are still relevant. I've said this before. You'll hear me say it again. Hashtags are like sprinkles on an ice cream cone. You don't need them, but if you add them, it makes it just that much better, right? So what is the harm? Don't not use hashtags. It's going to help categorize your content, okay? And it does matter to Instagram and what they say with their algorithm, even though I hate it right now. And then consistency. I know I am over saying this because I feel like consistency looks so different for so many different people. And whatever that looks like for you, maintaining that consistency is what is important to the platform. That might not look like every day, it might look like every other day, but whatever feels right to you, make sure that you're showing up consistently. One thing I will say that you want to stay consistent with is your stories. If you're not actively posting every day, make sure you're showing up in your stories a good 3 to 5 times a day. Look at it as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You want to just let people in the backside of things, the blooper reels, the behind the scenes. Stories is so important of building and bridging a stronger connection with your following. So if you're not posting, at least show up in your stories every single day. Key features on Instagram are stories, reels, carousels, and posts. Play around with these. See what is connecting well with your following. Some people do really, really, really well with carousels. Carousels are great because it allows your content to be discovered more than once in the news feed. Reels are very, very great for certain people. Some people who might be photographers and have grown a huge following based on their artwork through photography do really great with still photos. So it just depends on who your following is, what your audience likes. Pay attention to the metrics and the insights that you're getting back and see what people are best engaging with and follow those trends. Now we're going to go to LinkedIn. I need to be on this platform more. Our clients are on it and we help them grow on this platform. But me personally, I need to be on this platform more. LinkedIn has engagement metrics that they follow likes, comments, and shares. Again, shares are such a big thing because I think this is something that we have so been conditioned to follow likes and comments that we completely I have like a hair on my nose, forgive me, that we completely disregard the power of shares. Shares are so impactful and important because you're telling the platform, "Hey, this is really good. I need to pass this on." And then those people, if they find it very helpful and very useful, they're passing it on. So it's kind of like a telephone case with your content. Keep up the shares. Like if you can create content that is going to be truly share worthy, you're on top of it. Relevancy to users' interests, the recency of the post, and then professional connections. LinkedIn is all about the connections. Yes, they have the ability to have followers and creators on the platform, which I believe they're going to be doing away with that. And the connections is where the network really strengthens. And that's where the platform really rewards you. Who are your connections? Are you growing them on a regular basis? Are you engaging with them on the platform? Are they engaging with your content? Are you engaging with their content? LinkedIn's algorithm is forever changing, but I feel like it's one of the easier algorithms to play around with and to pay attention to. Some of their key features are obviously your profiles, your feeds, what you're posting, the connections, posts, and articles. If you are a blogger, if you write a newsletter, an email newsletter, or anything like that, repurpose that content to LinkedIn. Hear me when I say that again. Repurpose that content to LinkedIn because that content is discoverable by search engines and you are going to get a lot more views. It's another way for you to grow your email list because people can subscribe to it. Now, articles and newsletters are completely different on LinkedIn. Articles are like blog posts on LinkedIn, but both, when you post them to your account, all your professional connections get a direct email if they have their email notifications on, which most of them do, especially if they're active on the platform, that, hey, Whitney just dropped a new blog, Whitney, or a new article, Whitney just dropped a new newsletter, and it gives it to them directly in their email. So it's just like growing your email list, but it is on the platform and it helps get your views or the views on your content up there. Then next is YouTube. This is my platform that I'm really kind of giving more attention to this year. And I'm really excited about it because I'm making more money on YouTube now than any other platform. And I feel like this is the platform that I've kind of put behind the scenes and I've put more focus on other platforms, which are just not as monetarily rewarding. Now, monetary rewards might not be as important to you, but if you're a digital creator, if you are an entrepreneur, an independent brand, a personal brand, and you're looking to scale yourself and your visibility as well as your income, multiple sources of income are key. If you're not monetizing every single platform, by the way, you are missing out. You should have the ability to monetize every single platform that you are on, whether it is pennies on the dollar or you are making major bucks like tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year with certain platforms. But YouTube is definitely an income generator for me. Their metrics are likes, comments, and shares, relevancy to its interests, the interests of the users, video length and quality. So or not Instagram, YouTube has, longer form video. So doing podcasts on here, doing longer trainings. I've seen content of all sorts on here, shorter clips, shorts you can do on YouTube, just like reels. And the video quality and the length can help determine what video is being pushed out to certain users. Pay attention to keywords and tags. Keywords are search engine optimized. So making sure that you're incorporating your keywords not only into the title of your YouTube video, in the description, and then the keywords and tags that you apply to the back end data of your video within Studio. And then also the consistency of your uploads. Are you uploading videos every single day, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? The more you're uploading content, the more that YouTube is going to reward you. And key features of YouTube are videos, channels, subscriptions, and recommendations. And then lastly, we have TikTok. TikTok is just like, it is, I mean, I know the USA is not going to want me to say this because they're trying to shut TikTok down, but let's be real. Content creators, you know it, I know it. That is the platform to be because it is so easy to be discovered on that platform. Their engagement metrics are likes, comments, and shares. Relevancy to interests of users is very important, and using trending sounds and hashtags. Their key features are short form videos, long form landscape videos, which they just unlocked, as well as sounds, hashtags, and For You page. Now, here's the funny thing. So, I have been putting my personal content to the test for quite some time. I've noticed a huge shift in social media content that is being desired by users. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that can argue this, but value focused content that is just talking head, I feel like we're steering away from because people do not want to be talked to every single day. However, they have no problem being talked to if you are complaining about something, if you are frustrating them, or you have an opposing view of something. I decided that I was going to go on this like little tiny rant about something that truly and honestly didn't even matter to me that much. But like, I was like, this would be something really interesting to rant about. And I wanted to test it out. Lo and behold, did I just blow up TikTok for the day and piss off a lot of people. My rant was about my son calling me. This has nothing to do about business though. This is what's really funny, but this is the type of content that is needed in between your business content because it lets users into who you are, what you stand for, what your personality is like. And so this content is so relevant, especially if you're building a personal brand. But anyways, I did a small rant about how my son called me to tell me that his school was closing for the eclipse. And I thought that was ridiculous. Okay. I was like, we're literally closing schools and businesses for this eclipse. Now I get it's a big deal. I get that people want to take off and vacation and go see this thing live and in person and go to totality locations. I understand that. But to like pandemic mode, the entire globe, what it felt like that everybody was closing down and shutting down, I found it to be a little ridiculous. And whatever, you might agree or disagree, that's fine. But anyways, I went on TikTok and I shared this, and y'all, over 3.1 million views, 150 something likes, over 15,000 comments. I don't even know these exact stats, but I'm throwing them out there because I think it's somewhere around that. And it's just, I really created a hub of frustrated people, people that agreed with me, more people that disagreed with me, but conversation. And my following increased by a couple thousand. I mean, I don't have a huge following on TikTok personally right now, but I tested this, and then I went to Instagram and tested something just recently too. As far as I was like, you know what? It seems to me that people really like when people are doing BTS, so behind the scenes, when they are doing B-roll type footage, this seems to go over really well. Or when people are, letting them in to just their day-to-day life or their opinions. Because when you have an opinion on something, there's going to be a lot of people that see the opposite side, the flip side of that. And they're going to want to argue that. And if you're strong enough to be able to deal with that type of criticism and opposition to your opinion, then you have something golden to offer your community because people love to tell you what they like and what they don't like about you and what their opinion is about the opinion that you just made, even if it does differ than where you stand on the spectrum. Okay. And I wanted to put this to the test on Instagram. So I gave my opinion about something, proved it. proved it. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, is this the style of content that all these social media platforms are craving right now? It's just the personal, real life, opinionated person that can either give value, educate, entertain, or snooze fest, not really snooze fest, but the internet with where they stand on certain things. And just being real and being who you are and not being afraid to show that. And I know that is easier said than done, but if you're a creator, if you're a business owner, if you're a personal brand builder, and if you're somebody that has no problem talking or showing up on video, this is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be doing because the platforms are craving this type of content along with everything else that I mentioned in, the metrics and what they measure and what they don't measure. But TikTok is a thriving platform. It's great for getting new eyes on your content, but you have to have something that is going to engage and keep people engaged and possibly even ruffle some feathers. And I think that it's really funny when you start to see what different content does or does not do for yourself. But here's the thing, all in all, these platforms and their algorithms are always changing. I don't care who shows up and tells you this is the algorithm and this is how you grow because this is what the algorithm does. By the time they post that, something's already changed. So I'm going to try my best not to tell you that I know what is going on with these algorithms because I don't. But I will tell you based on what we have tested and what we have tried, not only with my personal content, but with our clients with Eden Agency, there are certain things that are trending and not trending, working and not working on these platforms. And the only platform that I cannot stand at all right now is the Instagram platform because they need to fix some things over there. We need to have a come to Jesus with Mark Zuckerberg and Adam Maziri about what they are trying to accomplish over there because I just don't even know. Now, I know there's a lot of social other platforms out there like Pinterest and Threads and X and, other ones out there that I forgot and haven't mentioned, Snapchat. But we can talk about those on another day. I really want to focus on the kings of social media, which are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. If you have any more questions, please just drop them down in the comments below. I'd love to get your opinion on this, even if it differs from mine. And I will be back again next week, everyone. Have a lovely and blessed rest of your day.